Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Real quick, let's get into it. You need to let people get mad at you. You need to allow people to not like you. You need to allow people not to be happy with you. You need to be okay that the fact that people don't accept you. You need to be okay with the fact that people don't understand you. You need to be okay with the fact that people might not see where you're coming from. You need to be okay with all of these things and all their different variants of not being liked, not being understood, of not being accepted, you know? And really, you need to really settle down and settle into the simple fact that is that not caring, just not giving a fuck. Because let me tell you why this mentality is needed. You know, people do not care nothing about you, at all. People only care about what they can get out of you. People only care about what they can take from you. And that's just how the world is. When people look at you, they're trying to see how and what can they take out of you. Very rarely is it that you'll get people who care about you. No, people only care about you only if they can get something out of you. Only if you are worth something to them, right? So really, when I try to tell you that you need to not give a fuck and you need to just be okay with not being accepted, understood, or whatever, it's not because that there's anything wrong with you. A lot of you guys might feel like there's something wrong with me. Why don't people like me? Da 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 da. And the honest answer, as I make people like you, there's nothing really wrong with you. It's just that, people are so selfish. People are selfish in the sense that they want you to fit an agenda for them, fit some sort of liking for them. I notice this when someone gets called selfish. It's not even that that person is even selfish. It's just that they didn't help that person. And they don't consider the context behind why that person didn't do that thing for them. Maybe they just couldn't. Maybe they were just not in the position. Maybe they had other things. And it's hard because it's hard for them to conceptualize that. So then they label them as selfish or label them as a bad person. That's why a lot of the time some of the criticisms people throw about you or that circulate around you are nowhere near based in reality. They're just based within their own selfishness. So really, you need to not care, bro. If people say, I remember me at school, some of these kids, they were basically inappropriate. And I wasn't having any piece of it. I was like, no. And then I was basically being shunned by the group. They were trying to shame me, trying to intimidate me. And it had nothing to do with me, had everything to do with them saying, how dare you not fall in line? Let's keep him in line. So a lot of people in this earth will try to make you think that you're crazy or make you think that you're weird simply because you refuse or not allow yourself to be exploited. You not allow people to play with you. You not allow people to just fucking pull you any which way. I promise you. And as I always say in these videos, the world is a cold and brutal place out here. And being like the way I'm telling you to be will save you from so much exploitation is crazy. You need to be okay with not being understood. That's just part of life. That's just how life is, dude. All these uncomfortable, unsexy parts of the world, that's just how it is sometimes. You have to just be okay with that, man. All these different emotions, the feeling of being alone, that you're going to be alone, that you are on your own. You just have to be okay with it, And I just want to make this video just to tell you that there's nothing wrong with you. It's not that there's something weird with you. It's not that there's something fucked up with you. Nope, nothing. This is just part of the life. This is just part of what it means to be a man in this day and age, or it just means to be a man in general, and that's just how it is, really. So guys, that's really a big part of this. So, and just understand that people don't like you, not because there's anything wrong with you, but because you don't meet their selfish perspectives or agendas or wants that are really are served to, that are really aimed at exploiting you. And, that's just how it is. And that's just how it is. So you need to be okay with that discomfort or dislike or that, uncomfortable situation at times, and just not allow people to pull you into that, obviously if it gets dangerous, you should leave, but, still. And just really just doing the best thing for you. We all live different lives. I've spoken about that a lot on these videos. We live different lives. We live different existences. What's good for John won't be good for Mac, and it won't be good for you because you guys are different people. Maybe for Mac, he needs to work on his fitness. Maybe John needs to lose weight. Maybe that guy tends to gain weight. Maybe this guy has a money management issue. Maybe that guy has a money generative issue. Maybe this guy, I don't know, has troubles finding a job. I don't know. It's a lot of things. Not everyone's story is the same. Everyone's individual. And, that's why also in part of this, you shouldn't be mad at yourself for making mistakes, That's also very important. I was going to make this another video, but I'll put it in here. You should not be mad at yourself for making mistakes. Simply and mainly because of the fact that when you were making a decision at a specific time, you were making it with certain information at hand, with certain knowledge at hand, and you only learn in retrospect. You only learn looking back that, damn, I should have done this, or I learned this, or whatever, So that's also a very big part of it, not being mad at yourself for making mistakes and moving on. Dude, people are moving on in life. Everyone's moving on. The people we went to school with, they moved on. The people who you once upon a time worked with, they moved on. Life keeps on rolling, and you need to do the same, So holding on to the past or whatever is retarded. You need to go out there and think about creating new memories, creating new good times, new good moments, new these things, building up, setting up for the future, building and setting up your future right now, as I intensively put it in my last video. You should go watch that video. It's very serious. You should go do that. Because ultimately, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Go out there and create the memories if you can. Create the moments, It's also a big part of there in life, not staying stuck. Because some guys, you'd be surprised, they stay stuck about the same situation for years. Some guys, I swear to God, will talk about, man, this one girl, she liked me back when I was like in grade 8. You're like, you were 14. They're like, yeah. And I'm like, dude, you're 24. What the fuck are you talking about? But that's just how it is. You don't want to be like them. All these different things, all this, I guess, loser, chud content, whatever. You don't want to stay like that, man. You don't want to stay like that. And I don't want you to stay like that. It's going to sound, life is meant to be beautiful. It's supposed to be nice. It's supposed to be cool, at least it's supposed to be more good than it is bad. And that's why I make these videos, because I just don't want you guys to fall into some bullshit, So that's really important. So remember, get back to the work. Keep the work as number one. You need to keep the work like a priest, like religious. And everything else will fall into place. So that's the video. I actually feel like I should talk about the making memories part a little bit more. And the reason why it's so important is because making memories is because, like, as you get older, memories are ultimately all that you're going to have. all that you're going to have. You're not going to remember anything else, quite frankly. People in this life, you guys are going to move on, you're going to meet other people and whatever, but the memories that you guys had, the times that you guys did spend together, it's going to be the things that you remember that carry you with in life. I remember back when I was in grade 5, I had this exact same thought, and we went out to go play in the sprinklers. And I remember this teacher, she saw us and said, who got you guys to play in the sprinklers? And I said it was me. And she grabbed me by my arm. She was like all mad and shit. And eventually she was talking to another teacher. She had to go somewhere else. And I basically got off scot-free. It was one of the funnest memories that I have. Because one thing you guys always forget at times is that the present right now is going to be the past. I swear to God, what you're doing right now, today, is going to be the past. After I'm done recording this video, then editing it, then uploading it, days, months are going to pass of what was the present. You know? So make sure you're setting up your present, because what you do today does influence tomorrow. And you should never forget about that. You know? But you should also have the ability to move on from the past and not let it stick within you too hard, too long. You know, maybe you got to shake it off a little bit. Maybe watch one of my videos somewhere. And then off to the next. You know? Some of you guys, man, forget that there's so many beautiful experiences yet to be had. So many different things yet to experience. But you need to set it up, though. You need to you need to position yourself. You know? I used to, and I'm some sort of involved in football. And one of the biggest things for those who know about soccer, football, I don't know if you guys were watching the World Cup, Spain. They won the World Cup in 2010. They won again here. Elite level athletes, even in basketball, same thing, rugby, all of it is the same thing. These guys, they'll tell you about positioning. You don't need to be crazy fast, crazy big, nothing. Just simply knowing where to stand and when, and being able to receive the ball and score or try or shoot a three-pointer or whatever. Just simply knowing yourself to position. But you got to recognize that position and be like, oh, I got to be here at this time. And then you make the steps to get there, the run to get in there. And that's when you can make your life so easy to actually score. And that's what you guys need to do. Sometimes some of you guys, you've experienced failure in one area or another, that you forget some of the winners that you once upon a time did have, you know, or had in some capacity. And you could reignite that. And this is how you do it. And this is where it starts, especially now, you know. So please take what I'm saying seriously. Set yourself up for the future, and it starts today. It starts today. Because you are set to have a very beautiful life if you simply just pay attention to what you're doing and how it's going to impact your life. Not focusing on the lies and the frauds and the fakes and the rage baiters and the fake news and all the bullshit from annoying people and school and traffic and neighbors and, oh, I don't have this at the moment. All that stuff is retarded. Is literally retarded. And will keep you stupid and poor forever. But you just being like, I'm just going to hone down in this one area. Dude, I promise you. And make beautiful memories along the way. You know? So yeah, man. That's, the choice is yours. But I hope you listen to this video. Peace out. Bye.